Welcome to Front and Center here on NTV, where we seek to make sense of the biggest political and policy issues in the Republic. And over the last few days, Kenyans have been giving their sharp reactions, if I may say, to the Finance Bill of 2023. And there has been a political divide forming over the same. Okia Omtata, the Senator for Busia, is going to court to seek the bill blocked being debated in Parliament. The Kenya Kwanza side remaining bullish and confident that the Finance Bill of 2023 will sail through, saying they have the numbers. The President, William Ruto, saying he will be watching to see which members of Parliament will be voting how. And of course, Kenya, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya, saying they will do what they can to shoot down that bill. Raila Odinga today coming out and urging the President to withdraw that bill, saying it is not in good faith. And of course, the one part of that bill that has stuck out like a sore thumb, if I may, is the controversial housing levy, which we shall be getting into tonight here on Front and Center. I am joined in studio by governance analysts and renowned architect, Professor Omenya. Also with me is governance analyst Dismas Mokua. Joining us later on the show will be economist Professor Fred Ogola. Do keep it here for this discussion as we seek to make sense of this debate, which has had Kenyans eliciting all sorts of reactions. Prof, if I may begin with you, what do you make of this? Seems to be like an ideological impasse over the same, with the divide we are seeing, and also Kenyans giving all sorts of reactions, but mostly, as you are, I know, opposed to their housing levy. What do you make sense of this hullabaloo? To start us off.
Yeah, thank you. You're right. I've taken a contrary position to government on the housing levy, and unlike what has been discussed or highlighted outside there. Right. I think a lot of people actually wonder whether I support the levy or I don't support the levy and so on. But as far as I'm concerned, the levy is a non-issue, really. The issues are more fundamental than the levy itself. Right. The levy, of course, and that's why it's in the finance bill, is just a mechanism of extracting 3% from government. But if you look at it, Ben, it is like somebody coming to you, you need milk, so you are trying to get a cow, and then somebody comes to you with an old, broken jalopy car, and then you spend a lot of time trying to fix the car. Well, you really didn't need a car, you didn't need transport, what you needed was milk. Right. So I liken the 3% with that the 3% is not even what we're talking about. What we should be talking about. We should be talking about the milk from the cow. We shouldn't be talking about the jalopy. But what has happened is that the whole country and a lot of experts now focusing on the levy itself and how the levy can actually work without the more fundamental question, as in what was the levy meant to do? And that is where my opposition comes in. They were saying, what is the housing problem? All right. That the levy is meant to deal with, and how has that problem been defined? What does government intend to do with this levy? So to start with, government says that, okay, fine. I mean, they actually want to, build these many houses, for people, yeah. Largely people with payslips, and you start asking yourself that, okay, fine. What is Kenya's real housing problem? Where is the housing need? Is it for people with payslips? The answer is no. People with payslips, majority of them, including ourselves, are actually relatively housed, whether in rental housing or in homes they own. If you look at it and you've asked what's Kenya's housing problem, what is the housing deficit, yeah. How is it defined? The Kenyan housing problem has different dimensions. One of them has to do with the inadequate housing in terms of housing standards being defined. Okay. And majority of that is structures in slums and informal settlements. All right. And those people don't have a payslip. So whatever we discuss, the housing fund cannot actually address their issues you know, directly as it actually were.
All right.
The other one is an issue I've highlighted, that we don't have a problem of houses. We have a lot of houses, and the other day, I think Kwame put that quite elaborately in another show, that I don't know where he got the figure from, but he said we had 14-point-something million houses. And many are empty, and that's true, that's a fact.
True.
So we have a problem of affordability.
All right.
Of housing as
I want you to hold that thought. Thank you for setting that agenda.
Right.
We are coming to it. I want Dismas. You do think that the housing levy and the whole plan is a good one? Why do you think so? And what do you make of the reactions we are seeing by Kenyans from all walks of life?
Not only is it a good plan, but we are 60 years late. And the way he indicated that if you look at only one perspective of the entire housing levy or the housing plan, probability of you missing the entire story is 100%. Because when you talk about this levy, we shouldn't even be looking at the levy. We should be asking ourselves, what is the byproduct of this levy? Whether it's going to be a levy, whether it's going to be a fund, whether it's going to be a tax, whatever it is. But what is going to be the byproduct? So let's go back to the basics. And I have the benefit that when I started off my career in journalism, I used to do a column in the Sunday Nation. So I spent a lot of time with Professor Omenya's colleagues who gave me amazing information. And I look forward to having a very vibrant conversation with him. Yeah. So the first thing is...
No, I want hold that thought. Hold that thought. We pay a few bills, we come back. I shall start with you, and I shall start with you, Dismas.